What's poppin', people? I'm Robert and this is the Crypto Corner. But before we get started, allow me to remind you to smash that notification bell, hit the like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Now on with the video. What's poppin', people? This is the Crypto Corner and I am your host, Rob. Wanted to get with you guys today and talk about 25 cryptocurrency terms you need to know. This is specifically geared for beginners. But before I begin that list, let me go ahead and encourage you to like, share, subscribe, and put a comment down below. Smash that notification bell because I don't want you to miss any of the content. Now, let's start with address. We're going to do this in alphabetical order. Okay, so the first term we're going to be dealing with is address. Cryptocurrency coins are identified on the blockchain by unique addresses. And you can think about the blockchain as a GPS in your address or crypto address as a targeted mailing address, and like without an address, no coin is stored. So the blockchain can't confirm nor verify its existence. So without a proper wallet address, you can't own the coin. It's got to go somewhere. Every time a transaction is confirmed, the value of your wallet is updated based on your address. Addresses may appear in different formats depending on the currency. The next term we need to deal with is altcoins. And basically, altcoins are, any coin that is not named Bitcoin is really an altcoin. Then, of course, you have some subcategories like, meme coins or crap coins and, so on and so forth. But altcoins is just really any crypto not named Bitcoin. So anyway, Bitcoin was launched around 2011 and thousands of altcoins have emerged. Some coins disrupt markets and shape industry trends, while some coins are hot garbage, ridden with a lot of crime and nefarious people and all that. But that's the people, not the crypto. I love the crypto space. I'm just letting you know some coins just don't have any real world function. So I'm not going to take any shots there. And the largest altcoin is Ethereum. So just check that out and you'll be glad you did. The third term that we're going to look at is blockchain. Now, blockchain is one of those buzzwords. You're going to hear that a lot, And I really don't think half the people really understand what it is. But, back in 2016, a blockchain is a digital ledger composed of all the transactions ever made in a particular cryptocurrency. These transactions are made up of blocks. And when a block reaches its capacity, a new block is created and so forth. Some blockchains have a limited number of blocks by design, whereas others have an infinite market cap. A blockchain like Bitcoin is completely public, so everyone can see every transaction. It's funny because most folks associate Bitcoin with the early days where it was a breeding ground for, nefarious characters. The fourth term that you need to know is dApps or decentralized apps, okay? Or decentralized apps. These are open source applications built on a blockchain intended for real world use. Ethereum is considered the mother of dApps. Ethereum was founded on the idea of enabling developers to create new applications on top of their blockchain. There is no one size fits all definition for dApps because, as Block Geeks put it, all dApps have a few things in common. They are open source, they decentralized, incentivized. Basically, validators need to be rewarded by cryptographic tokens and have a protocol. The community agrees on a cryptographic algorithm that can be widely adopted. Some ETH-based dApps are now worth millions in market cap. And in theory, a dApp can become as valuable as any other company or product. The fifth term that you need to be familiar with is DeFi or decentralized finance. DeFi is a blanket term for decentralized alternatives to traditional centralized finance. DeFi includes banking, money management, payment processing, insurance, etc. DeFi products and services enable democratize access to a historically exclusive industry. So start paying attention and you'll see this term thrown around on Twitter. You'll start hearing it more and more and more. This space is growing rapidly. So keep your eye on that. The next one, number 6, is digital currency. See, digital currency, like cryptocurrency, okay, it's not exactly the same. It's not exactly the same because a digital currency can be linked to a fiat currency too, kind of like a stable coin. A digital currency depends on trust. You rely on multiple institutions to carry out a transaction. Crypto, on the other hand, is trustless. You can verify transactions and records of the address you are transacting with in real time. So, in other words, you can't see the transaction history of your counterparty and third party payment processes when you go to sell a pair of shoes on, XYZ. You trust PayPal and the bank to safely and securely carry out that transaction. Okay, so there's a difference between digital currency and cryptocurrency. We'll get deeper into that a little bit later. Next one is a DLT, distributed ledger technology. You're going to hear that from time to time. Distributed ledger technology. DLT refers to a distributed ledger, another term for blockchain technology. And when you see DLT, think blockchain. Okay, so it's really the same thing. It's just another name, but you may hear that coming around, especially in the crypto space. The eighth term that you're going to hear and you need to know is fiat. Now, most of you guys know that, but basically, fiat is just, paper. It's just a currency that is, government backed, but it doesn't have anything backing it up. Like, the American dollar is a fiat, and it used to be pegged to gold reserves, but it's no longer pegged to the gold reserve since the 1960s. And it's no longer pegged to that, which makes it fiat. So any currency, any dollar, any paper dollar, whatever, that does not have any commodity backing it. Okay, it's not backed up by anything. This is where we get the term the gold standard. Okay, so next one, gas. You're going to hear that term in the cryptocurrency space. And see, when you make a transaction on the blockchain, you have to pay a fee. And that fee is called gas or gas prices. And so you basically are paying a miner to go out and receive crypto for you. And you can choose to pay higher fees for faster transaction speed or lower fees for slower transaction speed. So that's going to be a real big challenge in the market's gas fees. And that's why you have other, they talk about Ethereum gas fees a lot. And they can be pretty bad. And that's why they're looking at other technologies, like the Cardano, that can produce more transactions and have significantly less gas fees. So that's going to be a disruption right there, or could be, but keep your eye out on that. ICO, or initial coin offering. Okay, and so it's comparative to traditional initial public offerings, but you see that over in the equities market. And ICO is a new method for projects and startups to secure funding. Pretty much anyone can participate in an ICO, but more importantly, it's about finding the right fit for investors and founders. Okay, so we got to keep that in mind. You got to do your research and things like that. But it's like a IPO, but for projects. But instead of stocks, it is tokens and coins. So I want to just keep that in mind. Number 11, I said it a little bit earlier, but number 11 is KYC. You might see that, and when you go to open up an account, it's going to ask you a bunch of questions, who you are, where you live, so on and so forth, because the company now are required for you to know your customer. It's like a compliance term type of thing. So you'll see that on some of the crypto trading platforms. So it's going to come up in more mainstream purchases too. It's like major platforms like eToro and Coinbase require KYC as part of their onboarding process. So, like I said, it does stand for know your customers. Regulators require identity background checks for new banking clients as a means to deter money laundering and terrorist funding. The financial regulation of crypto is here to stay. So expect to see that acronym more and more as governments scramble to tie blockchain transactions to citizens. So you're going to have to get used to that. So since we're not criminal, I'm not a criminal, you're not a criminal. Since we're not criminals, we're not going to really cry about them knowing, doing their whole KYC compliance for the time being. Mining, you're going to hear the word mining, okay? That's the 12th term. And mining is the process of verifying new transactions on a blockchain. When someone donates computer power to a miner to complete an encryption challenge, that donor is then rewarded crypto. That's mining. So you have people out there and they have like whole mining rigs. You got Bob, down the street, he may have one or two mining rigs, but then some people will have their entire garage as mining rigs. And then there are companies that just have warehouses with mining rigs going 24/7. So, and like I said, you're donating this computing power and you are rewarded with crypto. Now, another hot term that you're going to start hearing a lot is NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. Okay, non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible tokens enable virtual transactions between collectibles like art, music, trading cards, and using smart contracts. Okay, so it's a non-fungible token, NFTs. And that's just a short, quick, simple definition to just kind of give you an idea about it. I'll get into it a little bit more in other videos, but just keep that in mind. Non-fungible tokens. Okay. Then you have private key. And 14 is private key. And this is the super important string of numbers and letters you should not share with anyone, because that is access to your funds. Okay. That's what that does. So you need to keep your private key. Like the term implies, it's private. And so you should definitely keep it private. 15 is you're going to hear POA, or proof of authority. Okay. In a blockchain operated under proof of authority, a few specific nodes are granted the right or authority to approve a miner's ability to create a block. And this is a faster alternative to the proof of work model, but more centralized. So we got to keep that. So there's different protocols that certain coins or cryptos set up. So is it going to be proof of work? You're going to have proof of authority, proof of stake, proof of work. You're going to hear all these various terms. Speaking of proof of work, number 16, proof of work is a more traditional method to award miners for their effort. Now, it requires miners to show their effort by tying a variable to the process of hashing a transaction. A hashed block proves work was completed and rewards the miner. And this takes up a lot of energy. Okay, so that's why you hear people like Elon Musk saying we will no longer accept Bitcoin because it's not environmentally friendly, because of a lot of the power that it computes. That can be a bit of a misnomer, but that is for another video. Number 17, proof of stake. The proof of stake allows a person to validate or mine cryptocurrency based on the number of coins he or she owns. So you kind of park it, basically. And under this model, the idea is that a miner will be less likely to attack a network if they have a stake in the game. Okay. So we're going to keep going. That is proof of stake. All right. 18, public key. A public key is a string of characters used to purchase cryptocurrency. If a content creator, for example, wants to receive cryptocurrency instead of fiat for his or her content, they can list their public key. And fans can easily send cryptocurrency using the content creator's public key. Okay, so you'll see that on some videos where if you want to pay them in crypto, give them a little bit of crypto, something, you can send it to their public key, kind of like looking at the description docs below, and you may see other links down there. I probably don't have a public key on there just yet. But let's move to the next one, which is the public ledger. Public ledger. Each blockchain has its own ledger. Okay. And this is the place where you can view every transaction ever made on a blockchain, given that it's public. Some coins distinguish themselves by operating on an anonymous or private ledger. Okay, but most are done on a public ledger. If you're also new to this space, you're going to run into or hear the term Satoshis, or Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto is the individual or a group of individuals, okay, credited for founding the world's first cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin. The founder of Bitcoin remains completely anonymous, so no one really knows. Okay, but that's the name that is being given to that person or in a group of individuals. Okay, if you see the term Satoshis thrown around, that refers to a fractional unit of Bitcoin. So if someone said, hey, I have some Satoshis, they're probably saying it because they don't have a whole Bitcoin, because you can buy cryptocurrencies fractionally. You can buy a half of a penny or a tenth of a penny, so on and so forth. Number 21, seed. The seed is the foundation of your wallet's digital existence. A recovery seed is a series of 12, sometimes 16 words that can be used to access your wallet if something goes wrong and you lose it. Your recovery seed is the equivalent of asking 12 security questions for a forgotten password. But compromising these security phrases will cost you a lot of dough. So, a lot more than losing, like your Facebook account, something like that. Basically, if someone has your seed, you have everything in your wallet to lose. 22. Okay. SegWit. You may hear SegWit or segregated witness. Okay. Another term, okay, is SegWit. It refers to the process that separates digital signature data from transaction data. And this allows more transactions to fit on one block, increasing the speed of transactions. Put simply, it's a good value add for blockchains. Just keeping that in mind. The next term you should be familiar with is smart contracts. So you're going to hear that thrown around a bit. But a core feature of the Ethereum blockchain and NFTs, smart contracts are just your typical boring legal contracts. Only they're written in computer code. Smart contracts hold multiple parties accountable for something, just like a normal legal contract. But it instructs each party, though, through code rather than spoken language. See, both parties can see and approve of the programming before accepting a contract's terms, making it completely transparent. Okay, so none of that funny business. 24, wallet. Okay, you're gonna hear wallet. We spoke a little bit about that earlier, but it seems simple enough. I know it's a wallet, but we're talking about a digital wallet. Now, you can have a physical wallet, you can have a digital wallet, you can have a crypto wallet, or you can have a hard wallet. A crypto wallet is the place where your coins are stored. Your wallet must contain seeds, keys, and addresses to function properly. There are several types of wallets, such as hardware and software. And if you use a mobile app to store your crypto, that is an example of a software wallet. Hardware, on the other hand, requires a bit more knowledge, but provide more protections for users than software wallets. Why? Well, if someone hacked into Coinbase, they could probably get at your cryptos. Unless the recovery seed physically stored in my house is somehow compromised by strangers, it is virtually impossible for someone to hack into my hardware wallet. Keep that in mind. If you have a hardware wallet, it is not stored. You don't have to trust Robinhood to their security. You don't have to trust Coinbase's security. You don't have to trust, any of these software wallets, stuff like that. I'm not saying that they are bad. I'm just saying that it's a little easier to get into those rather than a hard wallet like a Nano Ledger or a Trezor or something like that. And a whale is like one of the most valuable Bitcoin addresses, right? It's like, a very, very wealthy person, okay, a very wealthy person like a Elon Musk or Mark Cuban or something like that. It's just one of those things that they can get a lot. Okay, their accounts, they can move a lot of enough whales get together, they can move a market because they're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in cryptos or Bitcoin. So whales are just big wallets, big holdings in Bitcoin. So just to give you guys that particular idea. So that has been the top 25 terms in the crypto space that you need to know. Go ahead and smash that notification bell. Like, share, subscribe. As a matter of fact, smash that like button so we can get into the YouTube algorithm. And I'm going to see you guys on the next video. And this has been your crypto commentary.